Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
Okay. No, that's not right. Almost there. Let's try that. All right, I should be heard now, I hope. Can somebody give me a... Yeah, I know you couldn't hear me, sorry. I had something set wrong. Hopefully you can hear me now. I'll wait until I get a okay. Then I'm loud enough and live in full effect. Let me know. Okay, good to hear me? Thank you guys. Sorry about that. I apologize. I forgot that my mixer had a new name, so it was trying to go to the old device. All right, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you everybody in the chat, and I named a bunch of people's names in the chat, like Brap Algood, long time no see, supposed to come by. Mike Kelmick, what's going on? Great work lately. Matthew McBride, hello. Adam Bosack, Ace McLeod, what's up, my brother? So appreciate you guys being here. So wherever you may be, whether that's at home or in your car or in your bathtub or shower, to those upside down especially, and those perpendicular, thank you for joining me. And to all those in the chat, like I said, hello to them. And we're going to go cover a few things, and then we're going to jump on to model the Eclipse together. So that should be fun. I found this program that kind of does 3D, not 3D modeling, almost 2D modeling. And I was able to do it earlier, and so I wanted to do it together with everyone so we can all see that. All right, new sub and a new headless astronaut. Thank you, Lenny Len. So first, I did want to point out something that was kind of cool. And after this show, I will upload it on my channel so that you guys can check it out, because you won't be able to see it until then. Or you can go listen to it now if you don't want to listen to this. But David Weiss and I just, it was a few days ago now, 3-4 days ago, not really sure. We got to host a top 100 iTunes podcast, which was really cool, called The Twisted 10. It's a unique top 10 list show. Basically, they have guest hosts who come on and get to present a top 10 list. So David and I hosted, which was really cool. And we called our top 10 list the top 10 things that we wanted science to prove. So I'm going to play just a portion of that and see if you hear it. If you don't hear it, just let me know so I don't continue playing it. But just so you can find that. And you can go to the Twisted 10, and it's .libsyn.com. But like I said, they've given me permission to mirror it on my channel. So I will be doing that after this show. We'll go ahead and just listen to it.
For all in attendance. By the way, we just had Jay Alvarez come in studio, so he is with us now as well.
Oh, what's up, everybody?
So welcome to the show.
It's going to be fun times.
And, of course, Jaron and David, we run our studio out of our home, so our dogs are walking around with a squeaky toy. So here is how the Twisted 10 works. For listeners that are new coming to us from David or Jaron's fans, or if you're hearing this on their YouTube channel or what have you, the Twisted 10 is a unique top 10 list podcast. And it's basically a top 10 list on anything that you want to choose from. It could be from best and worst infomercials to best and worst serial killers or top 10 time travel anecdotes, or I mean, you name it, there's a list out there that you're going to like. So we usually, one of the four of us will host it, or we'll have a guest come in and do the hosting. This week we have David and Jaron from the Flat Earth group. And maybe you could draw an example of David and Jaron before you start.
So I just wanted to give you a little taste of that. So I will upload the entire episode, like I said, after this show. And then also wanted to point out to you guys that there's a cool podcast at theflatearthpodcast.com. David and Curious Jay have already had 2 great episodes. So if you want to check that out, go to www.flatearthpodcast.com. And you can sign up for free through iTunes or SoundCloud. They also have a cool little thing down here where you can hook up, I think it's your iPhone, and you can leave messages for them, questions, things like that. And then they're going to go ahead and answer those on their podcast. So pretty cool site, pretty cool podcast. So check that out. But I wanted to point that out too. So we'll move on a little bit. And somebody was making fun of me the other day. They were saying I say so all the time. And now every time I say it, I hear it. It pisses me off. So I'm going to try and not say so anymore, even though the chances are probably nil. All right, let's move on a little bit further. The next thing I wanted to do was to just cover a few topics, and then we'll get into the eclipse. First of all, I'm not sure if everyone saw this or not. Okay, that was nice. That's a good way to hurt your ears. I'm not sure if everyone saw this, but I was all excited because, and I'm going to bring this up for you to see. If I can find it here. There we go. So I was excited to see that it said 4K, and oops, what's going on here? Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, the NASA came out with this International Space Station walk in 4K, which I was like, what? They've never done anything like that. So I was pretty stoked to see, because I always think they're hiding things in the pixels, and it's always real grainy. I make fun of it and call it, 360p. And saw this and was like, all right, 4K, let's check it out. And the whole thing is 26 seconds. And this kind of thing should bring up questions. It should make you question. That means they've got a camera that's capable of 4K footage on the ISS, able to be taping spacewalks, but it's only capable of 26 seconds. So, again, that's the kind of nonsense that some people accept, some people question. I wanted to also cover real quickly my video yesterday that got less than stellar reviews. The funny thing is I put out joke videos sometimes. Not jokes so much as they are hilarious, because you have to remember, I don't believe in anything that I talked about in that video. Meaning, the people who are arguing with me are saying, no such stick exists. You can't have an uncompressible stick. You can't have an iron rod that reaches the sun. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's kind of the point, is that I don't think that anything is 25 million miles from Earth. I don't think the sun is 93 million miles away. I certainly don't think Polaris is 433 light years away. Don't believe any of that. It's funny because if you really think about it, you can imagine a stick that is a metal rod. Imagine you put a little ink at the end of it and you put a piece of paper real close to it, and you're on the other end at Earth. And if you push that little stick forward, it would stamp the paper instantly. And yet we're told that with distances like this, that it would take 2 minutes for this person over here to know that you moved the stick. And people are arguing like that's, well, it would happen because of the way wave propagates through devices. You can believe whatever you want. To me, I don't believe any of the distances, and that's kind of the whole point, because I can't believe in this kind of nonsense. Again, somebody standing on the sun, you standing on the Earth with an 8 minute, it's 8 light minutes away. So basically for 8 minutes, both people could be pulling on that stick. Pull on the stick for 8 minutes. And then what happens? What did the stick grow? What kind of magical thing happened? And yet people want to argue. It's just a funny little instant. So I wanted, God, man, that's going to make me mad. Whoever mentioned that to me, and I don't remember who it was, but you're on my list. All right. And this particular video that we're talking about now is in regards to the Eclipse, which I have gone back and forth on. It started out with me seeing the Potter's Clay video and thinking, this is interesting. That certainly seems like it should go the other way. Let me look into it. I looked into it and I basically made a video giving you the globe perspective, and I understood it. I understood where they were coming from. Then I was modeling it kind of on a little, my little drawing thing that I always do. And I also understood it there. And then to model it on my little globe, I showed it. But the problem with that is I took the moon incredibly close to the Earth and used it to work the moon across the globe. And after I was done with that, we had Globe Busters the next, later that morning or the next morning. And everybody talked about it. And I still felt pretty strongly about my position. And then the last couple days this week, in talking to quite a few people about it, they actually almost, turned me back to the other way because of the way that they were describing it, and which made sense, and the way that distances work. I kind of got to the point where I said, well, wait a second. How can, if we see the moon going backwards, how can the moon ever go forwards faster than we're moving? And that was enough to make me say, no, let me relook at this. I need to find somebody who can model it. Because for me, when I see something modeled, it makes it easier to understand and I can believe it. And what I felt I did wrong in my first video, the one that said that there was nothing wrong with the globe model eclipse, is I modeled it, but I didn't do it at correct scale. And so I started thinking, you know what, I can't say for sure that it does work because I only modeled it by moving the moon incredibly close. So what I did is I found a little app, and maybe you guys remember this image, but I couldn't turn this in my software that I use for drawing things. Hey, thank you, new sub. Software that I use for drawing things, I can't really do animations like make this turn at the right speed and make this moon go around. So it was too hard for me to, but I understood that this moving here might go faster than the Earth spins. And that's why I basically came out with my video. And everyone's seen, for instance, this video, and this is kind of the problem. NASA does come out with a lot of faulty images and video, little clips. We know that. This one here, the moon is obviously incredibly too close and too slow. So I'll show you how we're going to correct that in a second. Also, something I wanted to point out just so people know that there's still a lot that I find wrong with this particular eclipse in regards to the shadow size. There's a lot that I find wrong with it. It's just not what most people find wrong. Let me see here. So this part here, oops, that's not what I meant to bring up. This is something we should look out for too. If you just think about the eclipse and the shadow moving across, pretend like this double gray line and this double gray line here are the eclipse shadows. Since the eclipse is moving this way, it should cover, for instance, this is the same as this, and yet it covers more distance. So the way the eclipse should come, it should move incredibly fast across this part of the world and then do a halt and then go incredibly fast, slower here. So just something to look out for. That might help us prove that we're not on a ball if it doesn't do this. So just something to think about. So let me show you first a little thing that I did this morning. And this is that new software I figured out how to use, and we're actually going to use it together. But this here, I was just kind of playing with it and putting this through. Basically, I was counting how many times my globe was turning, and I was making sure that it matched the moon. And as the moon came around here, I was watching for whether or not the moon was faster or slower than the Earth. And here you'll see that clearly the Earth is spinning faster than the moon. So even then I was thinking, oh, maybe we did find something. Maybe the shadow should be going, east to west. And it doesn't. It goes west to east. So then I realized my problem here, and I'm sure you guys realize it too, is the scale. That obviously the moon is not here when compared to the Earth. So I moved it back to about here, and I noticed that the moon moved faster through this line. So I said, okay. So I had a feeling the farther you move it back, the faster it has to move through. Because it is true, it doesn't matter so much the speed. You'll hear people say, oh, well, the Earth is moving 1,000 miles per hour and the moon moves 2,000 miles per hour, which is something I said as well. And that's not the correct way to look at it, because that's linear speed. And what we're looking at is rotational speed or orbital speed, and the Earth moving 27 times for the moon's 1. And if you think about it, the further you move that one turn around back, the faster it will have to go through this band. So imagine if we put the moon all the way at 91 million miles, it would fly through that band. And so I kind of realized, oh, okay, the further you move it back. So we're going to do that together right now, and hopefully this works for you all to see. Let's see. And hopefully this goes well. You'll have to kind of bear with me a little bit because I'm using a new program. And let me get my thing set up here and my little stylus. Okay, so we're looking at an app called Explain Everything. It's really cool. I think it costs money, though. I only have a 30-day free trial. So I'll thank them for that. But anybody can get it. Just go to explaineverything.com, and then you sign up there, and you get a 30-day free trial, and then you download it on your phone or iPad. And so I'll kind of show you how it works here real quick. So I've got my black background here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add, and I'm going to see if you actually see what I'm doing here. Oops, this has got to be open. Sorry, that's why you're not seeing it. Okay, let's see. Make sure we're on the same. Okay, so I'm adding a image, and let me show you what I'm doing first so that we get the scale down right. So you should be seeing in a second. Done. Make sure this is updating. I'm not seeing it on the screen. 1 second. Because my screen's not updating either. What's up? Yeah, being very helpful here. 1 second. It's not updating this. Let's see. Lonely screen. This one? Yes. Okay. Close. Why would this not be working? Well, that's weird. Hold on 1 second. I'm just not getting any updates on my screen. It's just like you're seeing blank, I'm seeing the same thing. What do we do this? That didn't help. Can I refresh this screen? Let's try that. What is this button? Oh. Oh, I got it to work. I don't know what I did. Alright. So now is this moving with... Okay, cool. That's in real time. Okay. So now, sorry about that. Now you should be seeing here shortly. So just so we know what this is, we know that the Earth is, according to the heliocentric model, again, that's what I'm not saying I believe any of this, just explaining how they say it works, that the Earth is 30, or the Moon is 30 Earth diameters away from the Earth. So if you look at this little setup we have here, we're going to zoom in just a little bit, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So there's 31 Earths here, okay, and then the Moon. So what we're going to do is we're going to now add, if this thing will let me, an existing image, and we're going to add a Earth. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to add this Earth over here, and we're going to add a Moon. existing image, and moon. All right. So I'm just doing it this way. I thought it was better than to just show you the model, show you how it actually gets built, and we can do it together and watch the whole thing together. And then even at the end, I will probably record with my phone in a slow motion mode and then upload that real quick so you guys can see that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in and we're going to make this Earth the same size. Okay, so we're going to select this, move here, shrink it down. It's pretty close. Could be a little bit bigger, I guess. Let me get here and move it just a little bigger. Hello? Where's the other Earth? Alright, so that looks pretty close to me. So we're going to put this Earth right next to that one. Alright, so now we got that part set. And we're going to then look at the moon. And we're going to select this guy. And now we're going to zoom in. And shrink the moon down to the moon size. And we have to get closer. And shrink the moon. Come on. That might work. Let's see. Looks good to me. Okay, so now we've got the Earth and the moon at the correct distances and sizes. So now I'm going to take this bar of lots of Earths and we're going to get rid of it. Okay, so now we're down to the right distance of the Moon-Earth system. And now I'm going to shrink this down just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bigger. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to make the Earth spin. So we're going to get in here. Oopsie. Move over. Going to select this. We're going to set rotation. Set rotation. Alright, and we're just going to give it a good little twist. Alright, so now we got the Earth spinning. Let me lock that rotation. Lock rotation. Alright, so now we're locked on that rotation. So now I'm going to shrink this back down. And we're going to get the moon to get in orbit of the Earth. Okay, and so now we need to get the moon. I need to be able to see both. There we go. So now we're going to select, this thing needs to move. Now we're selecting the moon. And we're going to set rotation. And the moon is going to orbit the Earth. Okay, so the only kind of difficult part about this is I've got to get this down. Hopefully it doesn't take me, hopefully it doesn't take me forever. Is I need to get it down to where it's orbiting 27 to 28 times per the Earth's, so that the Earth is orbiting 27 to 28 times per the moon's 1. So, whoops, that was way too fast. Let me see if I can just get it to go slow. Go. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out of this, and we're going to verify what kind of orbit I have. Easiest way for me to do it is to count, 7 is the one that we're looking for. So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be close, so I'm going to check this one out now on a bigger scale. Because we should have 28 orbits, 27 and a half. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It actually looks perfect. 21. Should be a 20. I say it's 28. I don't really want to mess with that. Let me give it one more look just to make sure. I'm going to zoom in and make this a little bigger on this side. And so we should see a good 7 right from the side here. So I'm going to check it one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks good. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it's good. 15. I don't think anybody would complain with that. It looks like it's going to be exactly 28. I'm just checking one more time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now I'm just going to count it all the way around and make sure we get to 28 when we come back, starting at the bottom like it's at 6 o'clock here. Go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Hey, it's close. And this right here, I'm just going to zoom in and take care of this. Looks like it's spinning off of, does that look like it's spinning off of its axis? Let me see if I can fix this one. And we need to go to lock, unlock rotation, and edit rotation. Because to me that doesn't look like it's really spinning correctly. That's certainly not. Come on, get on there. I think this one looks pretty good. Yeah, I like this second one because this one's not, doesn't look like it's really spinning too on its axis, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, let's zoom back out. Let's see how we're looking. As I guess it just looks off from here. Well, let's start with this and see how we do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a sun. And this is just, it doesn't matter where we put the sun as far as distance wise. We're just going to put it over here. Let's move this whole thing. And move him this way. Okay, so we know what the shadow is. The shadow is that comes from the moon is when the Earth gets blocked of its light. So we're just going to draw one box that is going to be, oops, I don't want an oval. Sorry. Like I said, bear with me on this. We're going to try and get it down. And then we can adjust some speeds if we need to. Yeah, that's all good. I need to do a box. Oh yeah, no circle box. There we go. All right, so we're going to do a skinny little piece. About like that. And we're going to make sure that it matches with the Earth. So we're going to zoom in here. Not bad. Okay, so what that is this is your light that is lighting the Earth. Now remember, the whole thing here would be light, technically speaking, but obviously we only care about the light that gets blocked that would hit the Earth on a regular. So we're going to now squeeze this out. Okay, so now basically the question becomes this, that even though we see the moon fall backwards, hopefully the moon hits that path. Don't tell me I didn't make it long enough. Should be fine. Oh yeah, well. So basically the question becomes, even though we see the moon fall backwards, is there any time that the moon travels through that light path faster than the Earth spins? Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking for right now. The best way to do that, in my opinion, is I'm going to duplicate the Earth. Okay, so I'm going to grab the Earth. I hate that box shows up. And I'm going to duplicate. Okay, so now I've got two Earths. So now I'm going to move this Earth. Since you see it's rotating in orbit, I'm sorry, it's spinning at the exact same revolutions because it was copied. So now I'm going to pull this Earth and I'm going to put it over here next to wherever the moon crosses so that we can see exactly its speed. Moon, where are you? Get over here. Okay, so I'm going to be moving this Earth close as I can to wherever the moon orbits, right? Okay, about there, a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to bring this piece this way just a little. All right, now what it comes down to is simply a race. When the moon crosses this light path, is it moving faster or is the Earth? And let me make sure that we are... Come on. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to film, because I can't make it any slower. I can record it. You can press this record button and now it's recording. But that isn't going to help me right now. So I'm going to take out my iPhone, and I'm sure everybody knows that your iPhone has a slow motion device or a slow motion function. So I'll film that slow motion. Hopefully I can beat it. I don't know. Camera, slow-mo, quick. I lost it. It beat me. Alright, so we're going to go slow-mo. We're going to get this really close as soon as I see it coming around so I know when to expect it. Alright, so we're going to be there and we're going to count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I got that on slow motion. Let me upload that to my computer so I can show you what the results are. And we shall see who wins the race. Let's go here. Oh, Buster. And 1 second, I'll make sure everything is... where do you have to tell it to do slow motion? I wish we got to do this. Oh yeah, edit. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure this is going good, so it spins through here, and then we slow motion it there. Okay, and through the other side. Alright, we're good. So we're going to go done, done, hello, done, play, done. Okay, and we're going to upload to this. Just give me 1 second. I have to put it on the computer and then I'll show it to you and we'll watch it in slow-mo, see what happens. Push bullet. Meet. Post. Alright, so that's coming through. What happened? How did that work? Push bullet. So, and then I'll check the chat after and see if people think they want me to redo it with different speed or what they want to see. For some reason, this does not want to upload. Go. Hello? Alrighty. Thanks a lot. Okay. And my iPhone shows a beautiful time to freeze. Come on. Let's see what's happening here. And we're going to go friends. Yeah, me. Alright. Now it's working. Okay, and we're going to take this one. And let me just put it on my iCloud then, it's easier. Only 5 seconds of video. Oh, there we go. Okay, shared albums, posts. And that went up. Okay, good. I just need to get the link for that. Shared. Shared. People. Share link. Post. Alright, now we got it. Okay, so we're going to watch this now. I'm going to grab this. Oops, it opened up on my other computer too. Okay. What's going on? Where is this? Oh, here it is. And there should be the link to this. Okay, and then I'm just going to save this. This one. And download. Alright, that's in my downloads, and that's done. Alright, and I'm going to bring it up on this screen for you. We're going to put it on here, add. And downloads. Alright. There we go. Now, where are you? Downloads. Okay. This is not working. There we go. And this thing is on. Okay. Come on. Didn't I just load it? Here it is. Oh, don't be the wrong way. All right, so let me transfer this so you can see what I'm looking at. Pop player transition. All right, and now we're going to watch the race. And so remember, for the shadow to go from west to east as they show it, we need to... I'm getting a text 1 second. Oh, well, it would have been good to tell me a little bit earlier, but I'll turn it up. All right, hopefully my audio is better. Maybe I was whispering. And I will turn up this one too. How's that, any better? Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe it will be better. If not, I can still go higher, so let me know. Bob, if you could text me if it's still too quiet. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this now. Thank you. And let's take a look. Here we go. All right. So the question is, which one is moving faster as we go through the window here? So let's watch. All right, so we'll rewind this and watch it again. Okay, and actually I can slow this down. Let me bring that up. So we're going to speed slower, 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 slower. Okay, let's watch it again. And let's see. So to me, the moon is clearly moving faster, in which case the shadow would appear on the left side of the globe and then move right. So we'll watch again. And the way I was kind of seeing it is watch the land mass that is first seen when the moon crosses here. And we'll see, is it, okay, so right here we see this land mass and you'll see it falls behind the moon. So why this is counterintuitive a little bit is because we see the moon always going backwards. And so that's what I think was what sold me yesterday on really kind of changing my mind and saying, oh, you know what, I think this does cause a problem for the globe. But I don't think that anymore, because I can understand that no matter how far you put out the moon, each step further from the Earth is going to cause it to fly through this band even faster. So imagine, because we're keeping it at 27 to 1, the Earth rotates 27.5 times per the moon going around once. And so the speed idea of it's going 2,000, this is going 1,000, doesn't matter, because if we move that moon close to the Earth, it will actually be slower going through that band than the Earth would spin. And that's what I think I was sold on. But really, it doesn't matter. It does matter the distance. Meaning, if you imagine putting the moon at 92 million miles, it would fly through this band so fast you wouldn't see it. However, it would still be only going around one time per the Earth's 27. So that's why, and we'll see if we can take a step-by-step. Can I do a slow, is it this one? Let's seek playback. I don't know if I can just play. Oh, no, I can't do that. Sorry. We'll just watch this again. So we can kind of see that here, the moon is lined up with about this part of the landmass. And if we watch that go through, you'll see that it's jumped way in front of it. But if you kind of pay attention again, that even though it's going faster, you would see it as falling backward from your perspective. So watch again. Pretend that you're standing on the Earth here. So here you are, and as you're going through, this moon is going to look to be slowly falling backward, even though it's moving faster through this band in the period of time that you come across through this band. So we'll watch it one more time, and then I'll check the chat and see if people want to see something else modeled. And again, here. And so even though it's kind of moving ahead of you, because you're turning already, you would already see it falling behind you. At least, in my opinion, that's what their model would be. Again, I don't believe this, but I also don't want to call something a problem if it's not. I think there's obviously enough wrong with the globe. And you just got to listen to the top 10 Twisted 10 podcast to hear what those 10 things are that science has never shown, including how does a sphere even work? How does this ball work? Why is there no examples anywhere in any medium that shows that spheres are created by pulling things to their center due to gravitational mass? It just doesn't happen. So let me check the chat, and let me get back over here on this. Oh, that's great. I still have that up there saying I'm going to fix the audio. Let's get rid of that. Alrighty, and I'm going to check the chat, and hope you guys are doing well, and hope you have a question or an issue with the modeling I did. Then please tell me if you want me to do it again or aren't convinced for some reason. That's what I want to know. Oh, I would love, yeah, believe me, I'm sparking one up after I'm done. So the sun will approach from the east side and black out the moon and exit to the west side. Well, again, this is hard to talk about because I don't know if you're talking about in the heliocentric model or in the flat Earth model. The sun doesn't move in the heliocentric model. So, I mean, I still think that the flat Earth explains the eclipse better. But let's see here and make sure that I've got something up for us to look at. This one, no, where's the... There it is. All right, transition over there. All right, let me check the chat again. Again, if you put my name in the chat, it just makes it easier for me to see if you're talking to me or have a question for me. Let's see here. Just what I've been saying with my real-world experiment in the field, the moon is too far out to ever pass the Earth's tidal rotation. Well, but we just saw... Wait, the moon is too far out to ever pass the Earth's tidal rotation. Well, we just saw it pass it. You have to think of it's a wider track. The Earth is on a very tight little spin. So it's like coming around and spinning. But the moon is on a huge path. Again, this is in their model. I think the moon is really close. I think the shadow proves that. I think there's tons of evidence. Why did my flag stop spinning? That's not supposed to happen. That's upsetting. Why would it do that? Oops, let me see what happened here. These kind of things are important to me, like why isn't the flag spinning? Or waving. It's the funny part. Alright, let's try again. There we go. Now your flag's going again. Let's see, so the sun will approach. So thank you finally. Shadows, can you show shadows? I might be able to. So are you saying, here's the problem with the shadows, is I can attach... Hey, thank you, new sub, Jazz. If I can attach probably a shadow box that would be connected to the moon as it orbits, which is a little bit weird because the shadow should only come when it's blocking the light. So we could try that if that's something people want me to try. So every eclipse, the shadow moves the same, right? Yes. Every eclipse, the shadow should move west to east, if this is correct. I'm outside right now. The moon looks golden tonight on the east coast, not the normal cold white color. What is the moon today? Is it what is the 3rd? So it's getting close to full, like maybe 3-4 days before full, I think. Topless Thursday on Flat Earth. How did you know I was topless? It's weird. Is looking through a secret camera hole or something? Weird. Stalkers. How can the moon rise in the west and set in the east? It does not. So I don't know what that means. Damn it, I lost it. Jeranism, why is the shadow movement a big deal? Shouldn't all other eclipses like this one behave the same? Yeah, it should. I guess the big deal is a couple people, and as of yesterday, I was even one that was starting to think that way, that felt this may be that elusive globe killer, if you will. And so it's just people being really careful with it before screaming and yelling that it is the globe killer. So I spent most of the day trying to model it, learning this little program. Again, it's called Explain Everything, and you can go to explaineverything.com. And oops, you're not looking at anything. Sorry. Let's go here. So it's called explaineverything.com, and pretty cool. That's basically what you saw me do. Is basically what you can do with it. But you can also text and draw. But basically the record thing down at the bottom, so you can just record like a stop motion thing. And I think it'd be really cool for me. I think it's expensive. It's like $25 or something. I probably won't buy it, but it's good to use for now. You can go online and get a 30-day trial. So it's a big deal because people thought, and I understood why. Because if you think about it, since we see the moon fall backwards, then we would think that it's impossible for the moon to ever outrun the Earth's spin. Because in that moment, we would look up and see the moon appear to be going forward, but we always see it going backwards. But when I modeled this and really kind of looked at it, if you were coming around this idea of a ball, again, I don't think it's possible to live on a ball. I don't think anybody lives on a ball. But in their model, and that's what we have to go by, or at least that's what we have to debunk if we're going to debunk it, I could see where you would still see the moon fall behind despite its speed through that box. Again, even if you put it out 1,000,000 miles or 92 million miles, you're still going to come speeding around that corner and you're going to see that thing fly through, but it's still going to fall backwards. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, and how can I show that? And again, if you move this closer, I guess I can show that. We'll show that real quick, just so you can see what I think people were thinking earlier. So I'm going to take this Earth and get rid of it. Am I still on the screen? Yeah. So we're going to get rid of this Earth. Goodbye. And we're going to bring this in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the moon. Only I'm going to add a small local moon. And this is what NASA does when they put out this little shitty animations that don't match their sizes, as they confuse people, which is probably on purpose. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to drop this moon, make it a little smaller. Done. All right, so if you put the moon too close to the Earth, then you are going to have the Earth beat the moon. Okay, and that's what I think. There it is. Shrink down. Shrink. All right, well, we'll just do a moon that's bigger than the Earth for now. Well, that won't help us. Let me zoom in. And this one, and small. Okay. Now I'll get back out here. So this moon here, and let's say that we put it here. Okay, so there we're going to then set the auto rotation here. And we're going to get just a little tappy too. Just let it go. There we go. So let me count this real quick and see what we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The Earth is 2. The Earth is too fast. Yep. So I'm going to have to slow down the moon. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let me slow down the Earth a little bit. Might be easier. So we're going to grab this guy. And no. Lock rotation. Alright, so we're locking that one, and then we're going to take the Earth, and we're going to unlock rotation, edit, set on rotation. Alright, so we're going to slow this down, Way too slow. Is there 2 Earths again? Too slow. Might be right. I'm going to count it here at the bottom. And when it does that pause there, it's just not the best iPad, I guess. So I'm going to count at the top here. Looks about right, though. 3. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's a little too... If I get to 12, it needs to move a little faster. This is the only bad part about it, is if I could figure out, if they had like a set your speed thing, it'd be a lot easier. 1, 2. So you just have to bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Way too slow. That's probably better. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that one looks good. Let me try that one. And count when it gets to the bottom here. And go. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5, 6, 7. This one's going to be good. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So it seems like the Earth would be a hair short, but what we're going to see here now is we're going to zoom in. Now remember, the Earth is probably spinning one time too little, but I'll still show you why it doesn't matter here, because we're going to take, why is that thing still on? That's weird. There we go. So if we get in here close, and you'll see that even if it's spinning too slow, it's still outspinning the moon. Okay, so if we look again, should be able to see right here. And it should come back pretty quick, but you'll see that in this case, it's going to beat the moon. And this is what I think people were seeing in different animations and different explanations. So here, see how clear, clearly, I mean, you're almost getting a full spin of the Earth while the moon is in the shadow. Almost as if the entire Earth would get the eclipse. Let's watch one more time. I can't really, oh, I guess I could get it right next to it and do the same thing I did last time. But we probably don't need to do that. I think it's pretty obvious. Let's watch again. Watch it. I mean, the Earth is almost spinning a time and a half while that goes through. So what I noticed earlier today was when I was modeling this, I first did it like this and said, oh, looks like the Earth beats it. In which case, if the Earth is beating the shadow should go east to west. And when I saw this, I said, oh, okay. But then I just took the moon, and I'll show you if I can do it here. I'm going to take the moon, I'm going to move it out just a little bit. Okay, so I moved it out there, and I think it screws up its orbit, doesn't it? Yeah. No. Let me grab the moon 1 second. Readjust its little thing here. And set auto rotation. I'll remove this here. Okay, so now we moved it out just a little bit. And again, let me grab... What does that do that for? This one? Grab this? Oh, no. This one. Grab this, and we're going to duplicate it. This one, and we're going to move this over here now. Alright, so now we'll watch this one, just to kind of show you what I mean. Because now we just moved it out more. So what's going to happen is each way you move it out, each time you move it away from the actual Earth on the far left, what you're going to get is the moon going faster and faster and faster through this band of light. So here we see there. And if I slowed that down, maybe I will just for myself and I can tell you what it looks like. 1 second, because I still would like to see it slow motion. But obviously I'm hoping you guys can understand what's happening is that time it's a little harder to tell. Let's see here, let me just see if I can see it. Oh. And I still think that the Earth is outspinning it. But again, the more and more we push this out until we get as far as this moon, which is way down here, then you can see. So let's even go way further. Let's try this real quick. So we're going to take this moon. Well, we'll take this one since we know it's not at any kind of... Give me that moon. This guy. Hello? Grabbing the moon. Let me stop it from spinning. That's going to help me. And... How do I... Oh yeah, stop. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to move this one out way far away and see what it does. Come on. You gonna let me grab this or what? Alrighty. This guy. Is it locked? Nope. Bring to front. Okie dokie. Doesn't want me grabbing this moon. There it goes. Just making it bigger. Alright, let's get out of this. So now we're just going to try and back it all the way up and see if it moves incredibly fast through this time. Oh, you little punk. Come on. Kidding me? There we go. One of the cooler things about this is that you can shrink it like this. Like, I mean, eventually I wouldn't be able to see anything anymore if I just kept shrinking it small, but that's pretty cool for something like this to do that. You can, I mean, you could make, because I've always said you can't really scale the whole solar system. Who knows if what you'd be able to do as far as this goes, but I'll be playing with it this month since it's free. Hello. Sorry to struggle through this. It's a learning experience. Move. Should have just made it bigger. Move this one all the way out. Come on. Let's do this. Actually, I'm going to get rid of it. We'll just get a new moon. Goodbye. Alright. Here. Shrink this. Okay, so that moon was way about in the middle of that bar, so I'm going to start one way out here. Add moon. Excuse me. Come on, today. Today, Junior. I'm thinking. Alright, and we're just going to zoom in to shrink this, and then we're going to put it kind of at the end of this stick or so. Alright, we'll do it there. And then we need to zoom back out. And we're going to grab this earth. We're going to move it all the way down there. Remember that earth is spinning equally with the main earth on the far left. Alright, so now we've got this earth and that little... Oops, can I make it? Oh, you idiot. Move the box. Come on. So this is going to be off a little bit. So let's move this one down a little. And this guy up a little. Okay. So now we're going to set this moon in orbit of the Earth. So we're going to go this. We're going to go here. No. Cancel. How do I cancel? Click out. I just want just the Earth. Just the moon. There we go. And we're going to go edit. And set auto rotation. We're going to go here. Okay, a little too fast. That actually scared me right now. No, don't move that. Let me use my stylus real quick. Maybe it'll be easier. Because this one I need to get moving and I'm going to do... And then at least it'll show us... There we go. Oh, that's going to be way too slow, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, way too slow. Bring it back. Come here. Too fast. And forward. Okay, that was good. Maybe the stylus doesn't make it any easier. Please stop that. That's way too fast. The only reason I'm doing this is because if we see that it flies through much faster, then we're going to know that that's the case. Go. Thank you, new sub. Appreciate it. That might be good. 1, 2, 3. That one actually looks okay. Let me see. Gotta be able to see the Earth though. Okay, let me see. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the Earth spinning too fast. So the moon needs to go faster. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the moon's gonna have to go a little faster. Can I get it? There we go. Man, you wish they would have a little thing that you could set your rotations per minute or something. That would be the easiest way. Rather than have to keep counting this out. Oh, come on. Too fast. Too slow. Too fast. Too fast. Come on. Sometimes I'm doing this little flick and it doesn't. That might be good. Let me zoom in. No, way too fast. I mean, we'll be doing this all night. Let me just try this one more time here. Set rotation. So that's too fast. So it's gotta be like, not you. That actually looks okay. I see. So we're going to go here, set rotation. That's messed up picture in the way. Alright, so we're going to start with one and go. Too fast. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go on. Let's check this out. Let's see if you guys can see. We'll start this out. Count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, let's get this 14 right now, so it's kind of close enough. So let's go ahead and start right here. See here, how fast it moves through. Okay, so this is what's doing with Earth. So the electronic distance is 5% distance. This is already down. You'll see it. It's not real close. Since it's like the reverse, I'm going to take the slash and then this one actually take a probe with the second. One second. One second. What's working? What's this? Let's see here. Fix them up because so now that's better. Totally auto would be unintelligible.
Looks fine. Can't understand why that would not be working. Let me turn this down. What would cause unintelligible? This is off. That's on. I'm sorry, I'm not chat. I don't know what could be the problem. Let me see it. Let me. Could this be? No. This one? No. No, this bad thing right there.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
One second, sorry. This is the last thing I heard. 1 second. Let me see what could be the problem. So real quick. Let's see. I think it's not plugged in. This is fine. I can't see what would be that problem. Let me ask Pillar. That is good. Test, 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 test. If you can, I take the shut down, but if you can't do it, I'll do that. Oh, boy, it's not working. Let me try this. If you can't do what else I can do, turn it to low. What's this thing? That was weird. Still not like distorted. One second. Any better? You might hear me now. Or you might not. If it's still distorted, I don't know what to do. Something must have broke. Can you hear me now?
Testing, 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 testing. Can't hear me. Going once, going twice. Going 3 times. Nope, still not yet, huh? Let's see, is this anything here? Mic. Monitor and output. Oh. Now I probably changed it. Hold on, let me fix that. So yes, you can hear me? Bob, just give me one more yes if you can, and I'll close this out before we have any more problems. And I might be too quiet again because I turned down things after you said it was distorted. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Will I ever get this thing to work? I've only been doing YouTube for 2.5 years. How long will it take me to figure it out? Okay, audio level's low. I can fix that. That I know how to fix. Okay. How about now? Should be okay. Hopefully. We'll turn this up a little bit. Let me make sure I didn't put anything in there. Getting better? Okay. 1 second. Any better? Any better there? Getting better, but is it better? Is it best? Do I sound like Casey Kasem? Alright, well, that's about as best as it's going to get from my end, I guess. So, perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know. I had to unload my audio and reload it. Don't know why. Can't tell you. So, you've been watching, just the title screen. I was just going to film this one more time coming through here. And then check it and see. Because again, it should be dusting it. Be right with you. Here it comes. Oh, you weren't watching me. Do it again here for you. Let's turn that on so you can watch. And we are going this one. And there you go. Now you can see what I'm doing. Well, I'm just recording this with the slow motion camera. Okay. So I'm going to watch that now and see what I see and see if it's even close. And then I'll check the chat again. So yeah, you can put my name in there if you want. I'm not going to go too late. It's already midnight. Just wanted to spend all day modeling this thing, so I wanted to make sure people saw that. Where does it go through? Yeah, I mean, in that one, the moon is killing it. Let's see here. So it's starting when it's there. Yeah. And I'll upload this one too, just so you can see this one. And then that'll be good, hopefully. And if you guys want to see something else with this, give me some ideas. It's going to be interesting. Can I put this one in here? This one. Is that the right one? Shoot, which one is it? This one. Yeah, that one. Okay, sorry. Move this one to... Nope. Shared. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to show you this one. I have to upload it to this thing. iCloud sharing. Okay. Go. Don't give me a hard time. Alright. And we'll look at that one real quick. So that should be over here. Not there. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, I guess because the sound was off, but somebody, whoever, thank you, FE Mex AM, for the super chat. And I'm actually going to put that on the screen because that's what the plan is here. Overlay super. The weird thing is when the person sent the super chat, there was a voice, and I haven't set this, or at least I don't know how to do it. There was a voice that came on, a girl's voice, who said, "Check your audio, it's fucked," which was the weirdest thing ever. So, I don't know. I guess I didn't know that this thing speaks super chats for some reason. So, what do you know? So, let's go and check out this video now. I'm going to go to here, and we're going to get this one video. This one, and download. Okay, that one's coming in. Which one's that? 49 what? Hold on, now it's... Tell me that's... Oh, I didn't put it in yet. Post. There we go. So now it should be in the next one. Nope. Back. Come on. Let's try this again. This one. This one. Nope, that's not the right one either. Hold on. It's only loading the other one. Oh, this thing's stupid. Is this the big one or the little one? Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I have the right video because it looks like it's named the same thing as the first one, which is not good. Because the second one should have the bigger moon. Come on, today. Yeah, this is the right one. So forward that. iCloud sharing. It's obvious, but I don't want to leave it open. Okay, so this one's going through now. Preparing, done. Okay, there's that. Post. No, don't be dumb. Let's see here. This one. iCloud shared albums. There we go. Now it's there. Download. And that's a different number. Okay. And now we're going to load that one. Alright, and I'll show you that one in 1 second. Good. You're done. And here's this. Add file. And we want the last one. 51. Alright. So that's 49. 51. Okay. And let me switch this on so you can see it. Transition. Alright, so this is the second one that we did with the bigger moon, and we put it about twice as far as the other one, or twice as away from the Earth. And so let's check this out. I don't know where the moon comes. It comes over here. Huh? Yeah, we'll do it right here. And so again, because we moved it further away from the Earth, this one's going to completely be a lot faster than the Earth, as you can see. So if we watch that again, watch what landmass is being seen as soon as the moon enters the light, and you'll see that it just completely leaves it behind. So as you get further and further away, again, if we made it 90 something million miles, it would just fly through. So to me, that was pretty much all I needed to see to know that at least it works. Again, there's lots of problems with the shadows. The shadow being a lot smaller than the so-called moon. Let me get back over here. So I'm going to check the chat and see if anybody has any other questions, and we'll go from there. We'll put this back on here. So we got that on there, iPad. Okay. So pretty cool little program. If you guys want to check it out, like I said, it's free if you get it. Go online to explain everything, and then get that. So I'm going to check it. Okay, I'm going to go to the chat. Oops, I'm way behind the chat. And if you have questions, yeah, like I said, I'll try and work my way up from the bottom. Jaren, the shadow size is a problem. It should stay the same size or get bigger the further it is, not shrink. Yes. Well, I will look into that next because, again, we need to get a large light. So it needs to be a big light, like with a parabolic reflector all around it, and then something like a quarter be dangled in front of it, and then check if the shadow, because we're used to shadows being on us as if we are, how would I explain this? If you're on Earth, then a shadow coming at you is not coming from all around you, right? But the moon would be getting shadow from, or would be getting light from above and the sides and below it, which might cause a shadow to shrink. So again, these are the things that we need to model. And I don't think I have, I do have this light, but I don't know if it would be sufficient. Let me see something. I'm going to check. I have a huge light that we used to use, or we still use, for books. But I need to find something small enough. Maybe this memory card. Let me see this. Yeah, I mean, for me, the problem with this, I'm even telling already, is that if you put, go check out anything that's got a shadow, and if you move it anywhere near far away from that light, the shadow becomes a mess. So I agree. There's more work to do on the Eclipse. I'm certainly not saying that it's perfect. Just the idea of the shadow going, and a lot of people have had questions about it. The guy who explained it from NASA kind of said it weird by saying, well, the moon goes 2,000 miles per hour, the Earth goes 1,000 miles per hour. Again, that speed makes no difference. It really comes down to putting the two things next to each other like we did, because the shadow is a property of that item. And so it should do the same thing as the item does in the same speed that it does. Okay, so let's see here. This is crazy. I wonder how you could get some crazy stuff going on in this little app. Oh, you can't even see the stuff. It's too small, huh? Get it a little bit like that. Okay, let me check back on the chat. No, the sun is the same apparent size as the moon, so the shadow must be the same size as the moon or larger, like I stated on Globebusters. Yeah, I guess maybe that is right. Apparent size. Yeah, like I said, more work needs to be done, because I think Bob is right. I can't see it being smaller unless you would have to have the sun be bigger than the moon, which happens during an annular eclipse, in which case the shadow doesn't even reach the Earth. So, I agree. It needs to be checked. I don't know how it could be. Thrive and Survive, I watched a video he did, was pretty good, but he talked about the moon must be 70 miles based on its shadow, which is interesting. But I don't want to make judgments on that because I haven't done any research into the shadow so much as I did today just on the speed. Everyone knows the Earth rests on turtles' backs, of course. Turtles all the way down. He is trying to get into chat. No, let me go back up here and look at some of these names. Good work, thank you. Spark went up, buddy. Great job tonight. Thank you. Elevate your mind. I will. I'll probably have a little bit of my... where is that thing? Can't find it. What do you guys think of vape pens? Fan? No? Me, not so much. Certainly nothing like Leaf. Okay, I'm already at the top. All right, so I'm checking some of these. So give me a second. Just going to see the ones that have my name first. It's perfect. Great. Thank you. Yes, cool. Yes, we can hear you. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my sound. One day I'll get this. Anybody see the Flat Earth shirt that Eddie Bravo was wearing? It says 10th Planet, which is the name of his little dojo, whatever it's called. But it was a pretty cool shirt. Don't touch anything. It's good. Okay, good. Glad. Hear you better. Jaron, I didn't understand your last video. Well, it's a joke, number one, because I'm giving examples of places I don't believe in, like the sun being 93 million miles away. Here's something interesting, though. If you think about it, because I started, my mind goes crazy sometimes, but think about the speed of light, 186,000 miles per hour. Sorry, 186,000 miles per second. And I started to think, well, maybe they came up with that because maybe the Earth or the entire universe, whatever, is 186,000 miles in circumference, in which case you would be able to say that the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second and that it could never be broken, because what you're basically saying there is nothing can happen from outside the universe to somebody inside the universe. Just something I thought about. It would be interesting to see. What would be the diameter of 186,000? Let me check the math on that. And for Sean Hufford, if you may be listening, I do not think 0.318 is pi. I am multiplying 186,000 by 0.318 to get the diameter. And of course, you don't know that formula because they don't teach it in school. They don't teach it in school. For what reason? I don't know, because they'd rather you go through a bunch of steps and do a bunch of dirtball stuff rather than do the quick and easy way. And it comes out to 59,000. So 59,000 mile diameter, 30,000 radius. That's interesting. I don't know. Sometimes it's crazy. I'm not saying that's anything near true, just interesting numbers. Because really, I just couldn't. My video was about I can't believe in we're not looking back in time. When you look at Polaris, you're not looking at 433 years ago. It's again, it comes down to you can believe whatever you want. But for me, it's such a freeing feeling to hear something that's bullshit and call it bullshit. And that's it. You don't need to hear any more. I mean, if somebody's going to say something like that to you, then they have to have the kind of evidence that would make you say, oh, all right, that's enough evidence for me to believe that we're looking back in time. I don't think we're looking back in time. I mean, imagine that. So the light is coming from 433 years ago. Well, wouldn't it move? Wouldn't it be a wavy line? Wouldn't there just be a mess of starlight in the sky just all over because we've moved, we've darted? So how is it staying with its origins? I mean, it's just nonsense. So my video was just saying that if you had a stick, and I don't know if you saw the answer from the girl, or maybe it was a guy, I don't remember, on Quora, but she basically said, oh, well, you have to use the speed of sound. So imagine that what she's saying. She's saying if we had a big iron rod, call it rebar, whatever, and you could stretch that to the moon, or you get one big enough to go to the moon, and on the end of it you put a bunch of ink, and then you put it an inch away from a piece of paper. And here on Earth, somebody shoves the rebar. Well, the whole rebar moves with the shove. It doesn't go in waves. You don't have to shove this side and then it takes time for the... No, those kind of things are instantaneous. You push a pole, the other end of the pole moves. So the other end of the pole would punch a stamp on the piece of paper instantaneously. However, if you believe in light years, well, that should take 2 seconds to get there if that's the speed of light. However, this girl said it has to go with the speed of sound, and she said it would take over a day. So just think about that. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That if you had a pole, and people say, oh, no such pole exists. Yeah, you'll say that, but you believe in 25 trillion miles stars. Because those things exist. 93 million mile distant suns, those exist. Venus being 25 million miles away, those things exist. But a piece of rebar that could reach the moon, now that's crazy. It would collapse under its own weight. Well, it's a thought experiment, just like Newton did with his cannonball. You can't find a cannonball that's going to get shot out at extra speed. Thank you very much, Gur Olgi. Now I want to see if we hear the sound again. Last time there was... oh, now I'm tripping. Man, that is weird. Maybe the person... Who was it again? FEM Mex. I can't read that now. Did you put some code in or something? I don't know if you can put it in the chat. Somehow when you did your thing, somebody spoke it. People are going to think I'm tripping. When I heard somebody say in my ear, check your audio, it's effed. When you sent that for some reason. I don't know what to say. I'm not tripping, I swear. I haven't smoked yet. But let's check the chat. Oops, interesting. All right, and so did that make sense what I just said? I don't know. Hopefully it did. I kind of lost where we're going. The ball, we must bow before it. You know, evolution is truth, and our planet is a mere chance. Bow. Yeah, real good. Yeah, something we talked about it on Raw this past week about evolution again. Is it just doesn't make sense to me. That's all I can say. Is it's just nobody has ever been able to explain it in a way that works at all, and yet it's the truth. And you know, for anybody who thinks science is all about the truth, well, you have some research to do. Okay, don't touch. Oh, go there. Best live chat ever. Woohoo! And then right after that, it says there's a message deleted by Ace McCloud. Best live chat ever. Not. Let's see here. I didn't understand your last video. Okay, that's the one I crossed. I sound awesome. Thank you. I told him not to do it. What happened? Well, I guess that proved Jaren isn't making money off Flat Earth. Don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean. Yeah, we're actually doing really poorly. But if I say that, people... What, the other day I heard some video, maybe you heard it, some crazy person yelling and screaming Okie talk. But he said, Jaren, you said you haven't taken your wife anywhere and you live simply. Well, where'd you get all that Giants garb? What is that? When is it? Has anyone ever seen me wearing Giants gear? The only thing I can think of is I have one image of myself where I'm wearing a backwards Giants hat at the All-Star game, which was in 2007. So I don't know what Giants garb have I ever worn. He's like, that stuff's expensive. So then he said, how many baseball games you been, Jaren? How many baseball games you been to? I've been to 0 in the last 4 years. And that's something I used to be a huge fan of. Went to the World Series in 2010. You know, there's baseball. I used to go to 30, 40 games a year. As growing up, I had season tickets. Or not me, my dad. But so that's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that something like that is not important. And it was a pretty easy transition, believe it or not. It used to be a huge part of my life. And to go to really no part of my life. So when I hear people making videos like that, it just... The sad thing is I don't think people realize is what do you think that tells me about somebody when they make claims like that and they're so completely wrong. I mean, I haven't worn any Giants clothes. I haven't been to any Giants games. We don't go to anything. We haven't been to the movie in 3 years. Those things, when I say those things, are the truth. So when somebody makes a video and says, you liar, you piece of scum liar, well, don't expect me to ever watch another video you put out, or even if you came out with the best evidence ever, I'm not even going to listen to you because you obviously can't research, so I'm not going to believe it. So it's sad. There's a lot of people like that and they may get 10 or 15 people in their comment section say, yeah, I agree, Jaren's a scumbag. Well, good for you guys. And then that guy probably gets a little kick like, hey, I got 10 or 15 people that agree with me. Yeah, well, I was listening to Joe Rogan and what's his name, Jamie Foxx, the other day, and they were talking about not responding or not paying attention to people in live chat, not so much live chat, more comments. And they described it pretty interestingly by saying, you know, if you had 100 people, if you took a random selection of 100 people, how many of those people would be complete and total fools, just spouting their mouth about anything? And then, you know, Joe said a couple, and he's like, well, at least one, right? He's like, yeah, at least one. He's like, okay, well, that means that there's 3 million people in the world that, in the United States that are like that. And then when you look at your subscriber base, so, you know, I've got, 70,000 subscribers. That means that out of those 70,000 subscribers, that 700 of them are those. So I should feel pretty good, I guess, that only one person's making crazy videos like that. Or there's more than that, but it's not 700, at least I don't think, or I don't see that many. But, yeah, people can think whatever they want. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to worry about it. So let me continue on. I asked a trio of strangers 2 streets over their thoughts on the possibility the Earth is not a spinning ball. Mighty receptive and friendly to boot. Yeah, we've noticed the same thing. In person, definitely different than here. But you will get some people that lose their minds. When you listen to the podcast, I'll upload the Twisted 10. After we were on, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there is both parts now of the debate that David and I had with the NASA guy and the SpaceX guy. And the first two parts are on there. It was with the same guys that ended up doing, they the ones who host the Twisted 10. And in that debate, which I thought we did pretty well at, so after that, when we showed up for the Twisted 10, the guy said that when he announced that we would be the hosts for it, he said he's never gotten in the, I forgot what he said, 60-something episodes, that he had never gotten hate mail before. And because David and I were coming on, he got some hate mail. So it definitely brings out the worst in people, and I understand why. You don't want to hear my opinion of why, but I'll go ahead and give it to you, because I think, I really do, that deep down inside, my flag stopped spinning again. That is upsetting. That's the whole funny part. Unbelievable. Let me try this. Maybe fix that flag. That makes me mad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't stop doing that. There we go. Woohoo. An interesting thing, I think that deep down inside, everybody knows the earth is flat. That's what I think. I think that it's in you from birth. I think that you know it. I think you experience it. You observe it. Everything that is around you, your senses. David Weiss says it perfectly when he says, you know, your senses tell you the earth is flat and stationary, and only nonsense tells you otherwise. Great little quote by David Weiss. But it's the damn truth. Is if your senses tell you something and everybody else's sense, you can find, there's nobody on earth ever that has ever felt anything, and yet we're told something different. So I think that everybody knows it. And if you are a atheist, or you have other beliefs, or you have gone full-fledged into the idea of the heliocentric model, well, then this is the scariest thing you've ever heard, especially if you've spent some time talking shit about Christians or God or any religion or religion in general. And when you hear somebody bring up flat earth, it's going to tear up your insides, because you don't want it to be true, but maybe some people, it feels like it is true. And so they're going to fight it, and they're going to do whatever they can to prove it not to be true. They're afraid that maybe people are lying about it. But one thing that, do not let anybody say this anymore. I had a little quick Skype back and forth chat with Tim Osman, who again said, oh, well, one of these days, Jaron, you're going to realize that you've been part of a psyop perpetrated by the very people you seem to hate. And I asked him for evidence again, and he couldn't get any, but there is no such thing as a psyop that the government perpetrates so that you lose complete and total faith in the government. That's not a good psyop. They don't have a psyop where they say, let's make everyone believe the earth is flat, and then they won't believe any of the things we say, and they won't appreciate the education that we've given them, and they won't believe in any of our foundations. They won't believe in any of our agencies. That's ridiculous. It cannot be a psyop. And I can say that easier because I know I came to it on my own. Nobody fed me anything besides my wife looking outside. So the idea of it being a psyop is a complete and total joke. It cannot be a psyop. It just can't be. And there's too many people who catch wind of it, and that's the problem. And I'm not saying it's 100% true, because we don't know a lot of about where we live. But what I am saying is it's clear that they don't know how to teach what they think is the truth. And it's clear that what they call science isn't the science that we were taught. And it's clear that things like evidence and proof and verification and repeatability and observations are missing from the fundamental ground floor, the ground foundation of everything we know to be true as far as where we live. They forgot that. They didn't teach it in school. And for 2.5 years, I've been looking for it, and all I get are word salad and math problems, and none of that is evidence the way it should be. You know, so that's the problem that they have, and that's why I say that I think that what we're doing is a great thing, because it's going to do one of two things. Either one, change the world for the better, because we're going to expose liars, get them out of office, get new people capable of handling the show in charge, or else, you know, go to small communities to where we handle things ourselves and stop depending on people who clearly don't have your best interests at heart. Or the other thing that might happen is that we will find out that, yeah, okay, we do live on a globe, and we had to go out and actually get all this proof ourselves because none of it is supplied. And I don't think that's the case, because by now it would be done. and it's not. And there's some things that are starting to come out. I'm starting to see more and more 24/7 video feeds from the north and the south, and I haven't had time to really go through and look at those. But of course, that's going to start happening, and that's one thing you have to be ready for, is if the earth is flat, then the powers that should not be will stop at nothing. That's just the way it is. And people might say, oh, well, you're just building up the conspiracy even more. No, well, the truth is they'll stop at nothing. And if you listen to that podcast that David and I did, I think we made some great points. Well, I'll just give you one of them. One of them was a live camera from the moon showing Earth. Here's the reasons why. Number one, you could just set it up once. It could face the Earth and you're done. It doesn't need to ever turn because the same side of the moon faces the Earth at all times. You would just leave it on there. Number two, there would be no more questions about the eclipse because you could go to your computer and watch it live for every lunar eclipse, for every solar eclipse. You watch it right there live. Number three, when they go there, you should drop that camera at the Apollo 14 or 15 or 16 or 17 site. Show us the rover. Show us the LEM. Then turn the camera and face the Earth. Now what you've done is you've proven, because you've got 25% of the world that thinks NASA's full of shit. The scientific entity NASA, that their only glory is going to, think about that. The only thing they've ever done is go to the moon. They haven't done anything else. They built a space plane glider that went upside down and landed. I mean, they didn't do anything. And they haven't proven anything. They're, we're up here doing water bubbles and we're doing a lot of scientific tests that are going to further our understanding of science, and that's all they say they do. So NASA, their whole glory, everything that they are, is Apollo. So 25% of the world doesn't believe you. So you would go there, drop your little camera, show the rover, show the LEM, turn and face the Earth, and now you show the Earth spinning. It's a 24/7 video feed. It's on it's a 4K camera, which are cheap. It's cheap now. And don't tell me you can't transmit live from the moon because you did it 50 years ago. So you can do it now. And if the question becomes money, well, imagine there's a website called, Moonshot, whatever, Earth from the Moon, whatever, .com. And on that feed, you just have a little box up in the upper right-hand corner and you let advertisers pay for a spot. Taco Bell's logo, Target's logo, whatever. And it would make money for NASA. So when you come up with things like that and they still won't do it, you have to ask yourself why. Why the hell would that not be something you would do? Who's in charge at NASA that hears that idea and says, nah. What do you mean? Prove that we went to the moon? I don't really see why we have to. Oh, you mean set up a camera to show the Earth? Why? Just because everybody that lives there is responsible for all the money we've ever had? That NASA, every penny that they've ever spent came from the people who live on Earth. You really think we should pay them back with a picture of the Earth? Why? Just because we're up in space? I don't know. It just makes no sense to me. That if they can't do it, if they don't do it, that proves to me that there's a reason why. And it's the same thing with the 24/7 video feed from the ISS. If there's a reason they don't do it, because I've had somebody say before to me, well, Jaron, stop asking them for that because then they'll fake it. And I say to them, if they could fake it, they'd be faking it. So it's hard to fake a 17,500 mile per hour craft. It's pretty hard to fake. And it's really easy to fake now. People think that there's a 24/7 video feed. People think that that exists. Not only that, but they say you can see it from the ground. They don't even realize that when you can see it from the ground, you can't go inside and look at the Earth, because it just shows black. And then when you can see the ground from the sky, when you go inside and you look and you see the ground it's going over, well, nobody on the ground can see it from Earth. So if people can't get it through their heads that that is an excellent opportunity for deception, then I can't help you. Then you can believe in the magical, twisty ball that they show you all you want. But I'm not. That there's not been sufficient evidence to even come close to showing me that exists. And every time I bring up the ISS, I love to go check it out because it's always crap. And yeah, anybody who it's sad that I could still say this, because if anybody wants to bet, over under an hour I'll take the under of how long till we get this screen. Blue screen. Womp, 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 womp. Brrr. Because it's, this is your live 24/7 feed from space. And, it can't show you because, well, it's on the dark side. And what are you going to do if it's on the dark side of Earth, right? So, yeah, listen to the podcast. It's pretty funny because David says he can't wait till he can talk to China at night. And I say I can't wait till I can call from San Francisco to Los Angeles and not have to deal with a 10-second delay. Remember, the ISS is only 250 miles above your head, yet somehow there's a 10-second delay. So, oh, you're not looking at my screen. That's why. Sorry. I'm getting good at that, aren't I? There we go. And I went back and I don't know, what is this, 17 hours ago. And so, yeah, when we got here, if you go to the live one, get blue screen. So, pretty crappy. But anyway, just the fact that they can't show a 24/7 video feed tells me that there's something difficult about faking it. Probably when you don't have crafts that go as fast as you say, faking it would be pretty hard. You'd have cut scenes. See, this allows a cut scene, right? Every 20 minutes, they can cut scene. And they can then pull up a new scene. And that makes it easy to fake. And so the fact that there's people out there who don't question this, the fact that there's people out there who will just say, this is real, there's no reason to question it, there's no reason at all, that's just crazy to me. I don't know how you don't question things that just, what is that? So this is what I'm talking about. So we saw that 4K video camera earlier. What is this? What is happening in space that requires this? Why is this camera not working? Anyone ever seen their camera do this? So is this a space effect? Is this the solar?
Station photos for the labeling are on SSC 13.
Shut up, Peggy. So, yeah, I mean, to me, this is just crazy nonsense. I don't know how people don't question it. And that's another thing I noticed is that people who believe in the globe just refuse to even acknowledge the problems with NASA. I'll actually give credit to Tim Osmond on that one. At least Tim Osmond acknowledges issues with NASA and wants to push them aside in the talk about the shape of the Earth. Because at least that's acknowledging that NASA has been up to shenanigans since day one, working with the DoD, working with the CIA. How does this camera come on? What is this camera? What a joke. Anyway, back to the chat. What time is it? Oh, 12:30. I gotta go to bed soon. Holy smoke, it's tomorrow already. Jaron, can you address the path of totality and how it veers off towards South America as seen on their models? Yeah, I don't know what you mean by address it. It certainly seems to make more sense on the flat Earth. And again, I'm going to be looking at the eclipse a lot this next 2 weeks. So I'll check the shadows, I'll check the direction. But I wanted to make sure that people saw the reason that I think that the shadow would go west-east. And again, every solar eclipse of all time has gone west-east, if I'm not mistaken. Could it not? No, they should all go west-east. Somebody can check me on that if I'm wrong, but based on what we just saw, pretty much any distance after, say, 100 or 200,000 miles is going to be... yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm not positive, but I'll check into it. Jaron's model doesn't even come close to reality. The Earth is spinning. Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what sucks. I say that without any hesitation, that the thing that sucks the most about this is having to learn the heliocentric model, and then when people get it wrong, having to teach it to them because it feels like, I don't know, feels gross. Feels like you're like walking through a pile of shit to get to the shower or something, or maybe when you get out of the shower you walk in a pile. It's just gross. I don't want to have to explain something I don't believe, because people hear me explain it and I think as I explain it I sound like I believe it, because usually if you're explaining something you believe it. So it sucks that I don't believe that. What I just explained about the moon going around, and I don't believe that. But I just don't want people getting it wrong, since once you kind of look into what they're saying, because if we can find that one thing that is like, let's say that the shadow really should go east to west, and their model was causing it to do the opposite. That's huge. That's earth shattering. And so, yesterday I had moments where I'm like, wow, is this it? Is that, and I've had quite a few of those. And, maybe eventually you get to the point where you find one that, this is great too. I don't know if you're watching the little astronauts here throwing things on the moon, which is so clearly in slow motion. It's funny. It's just obvious as could be. But anyway, I think that we'll find one. I think that there has to be one, and not sure what it is, but I'm going to keep looking, because they've had a lot of time to set it up, and it's a lot of numbers, and they get to just remove things. They ask us, well, how high is your sun? How far is your sun? What does it triangulate at? Well, they don't triangulate the sun. Ask them, how far is your sun when you triangulate? They can't do it. So they just get to invoke different rules and regulations and little, get-arounds and little weasel outs for everything. I mean, imagine and I was talking to somebody yesterday about it, and it's so true about, Tycho Brahe, that they came out with this thing saying, okay, we think that the stars are an infinite distance away, or no, we think that the stars don't have parallax, and that all these things, and Tycho Brahe came and laughed at him and said, no, you've got to be kidding. In that case, there would be stars as big as the orbit of Saturn, and that you would need all the stars that we see to be an infinite distance away, that we can't see it in parallax. He said it's completely untrue. And within less than a few months, he died. And then Kepler took all his paperwork and said, all right, guys, I got the answer. These stars are all an infinite distance away, and some stars are as big as the orbit of Saturn. And they went with it. So, when you get to invoke something like that completely goes against every observation, that completely goes against everything that we see, go look outside right now if you've got a clear sky. I haven't had a clear sky in a month. But those stars are not 25 trillion miles. They're just not. Again, you're free to believe what you want. Don't believe me. Don't trust me. Do your own research. Do whatever you need to do. But be careful about just believing men who don't have your best interests at heart. I said it in the video yesterday. Neil deGrasse gets to say that the universe doesn't have any obligation to make sense to you. Well, yeah, it doesn't have any obligation to make sense to you because he doesn't want to have any obligation to make sense to you. That's why. It's a lot easier for him to sell bullshit if he doesn't have to make sense to you. If the universe has an obligation to make sense to you, then so does Neil deGrasse. So what do you think he's going to say? So it's just easier for them to say, no, the universe doesn't have any obligation to make sense to you. This is an interesting picture. Oops, that's not the one I meant to click on. I might click on this one right here. Oh man, I thought I saw... Oh, what is that? These guys are using a Motorola flip phone, 1992, to take pictures of space. Because that 4K camera that went up, it only had 26 seconds of battery power, and then they had to ship it back to Earth in one of the special pods that doesn't get burnt up in the atmosphere. Because some of them do. You just never know. Well, the ones with people, they make it back. But the ones without people, those get burnt up. But you can't throw your trash out there because the Earth's a closed system. A lot of interesting things. Yeah, this looks very real. Who questions this? Why would you question this? That's the question to me. This looks like outer space to me. Look at this. Why would you question this? It's outer space. You got all this gear. This is clearly outer space gear. You got outer space tubes here and outer space handles. Outer space plastic coverings and pipe cleaners. So, to me, anybody who questions this stuff, they just don't understand reality. It's right here in front of them. Clearly, that's outer space. Clearly, that blue screen happens because they're on the dark side of Earth. Duh. What do you expect them to do? Bounce a signal off a satellite? Come on, they got more important things to do. Yeah, I wouldn't question this either. Because I don't know about you guys, whenever I take a picture, I always find the nearest hunk of metal and then position myself behind it so that it takes up 75% of my camera screen, and then I take the picture. Because who really wants a whole picture of the Earth rather than, I mean, I need this in my picture. I need this switch and this crossbar here. I need this thing, and I need this pipe and this logo and this bag and this circle thing. I don't know about you. That's how I think I need pictures. Oh yeah, show us the little, oh yeah, there we go. Because this would be real hard to build models that did this and put it over a conveyor belt that runs an image of the Earth. Look at this. So, okay, here's one. Let's just go back here. So the sun is setting which way? To the right, right? See, the sun's setting to the right. So where's the light coming for this? Oh, what's this thing going to stop? I'm just going to leave it here because I want to see what happens. This clearly cannot be the sun. So it better not fade out like it's the sun. Because the sun's set to the right. So this has to be some sort of light or, I don't know, some sort of shop light, floodlight. It's going to end, isn't it? 2:59:20. Yep. It's got 40 seconds left. So then I'll go back to the chat. And how long have I been on? Has it been 2 hours? 11, 10:30? And I start about 10:40. 2 hours, yeah. I don't like having to go wake up my wife at 12:45. She's only unhappy for a minute, but still. That 1 minute I don't like. Let's see here. Come on. Hey, thank you. Another sub. Freddie Salguero, welcome to the Bash NASA in the Head with a Chair club. It's a fun club. Oh, and just switch scenes now to this. This is very important. Yep, and don't ask me, we can't see things going by the bottom. You know, we can't see the lights of cities, and still on the blue screen here live. Unbelievable. So, you know, if you ever, I don't know if you've ever seen, but, you know, this is what we see at night. So people say, oh, you can verify it. You can go outside and look at it above your head. Well, but you can't match it with anything. This is night. And what's going on? Where's the buildings? Where's the cities? Where's the lightning? I mean, this is just pathetic. See, but they can show this. So where's this view at night that you'd be able to see all these lights? Why wouldn't you be able to see the lights there? And again, this is showing this, but you can't see it from the day. So if you're down here, you can't see it in the day. But then when it comes to be nighttime, when you can see it, you can't see the ground from here. So how can you not see deception right in front of you? And that's why, you know, it's hard to say. I don't have a lot of respect for people who keep pushing the ball unless they actually said, you know what, there is some issues. Let's be humans together and uncover why these deceptions happen. Rather, they'll just make excuses. Flat Earth math will make excuses for everything. Well, Jaron, see, you don't understand that the aperture that needs to be, cameras don't have automatic focus anymore, at least not the ones in space. And it's just ridiculous. You can't just, what is going on? Is the Earth moving there? Oh, boy. I don't see any problems with this. This is space, clearly. This is spacecraft that's flying 17,000 miles per hour. No questions. But again, if you go to, ISS night view of Earth, and this is why people are indoctrinated, because they show you stuff like this, and people say, oh, well, look at that. Look how could you question this thing? Look at this. Well, you question it because they can't show it live. There's never been a picture like this. Never. Ever, never, never. This is all done in post-processing. It's got your curvature lens. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, people think this is real. People think they live there. For reals. People think this is real. That you live on this. This is water. This is water. Water. Upside down water. It just baffles me. It's just bad. And I'm not even saying they're not up there. For all I know, they're up 200,000 feet. What is this? Is this for real? Is that the moon? Come on now. Give me a break. What is this? What is going on here? The moon is... That's not... Holy smokes. This is a joke. This cannot be. What is going on here? I mean, you can even see like the bending of the image. That is classic. I've never seen that. So, I mean, okay, so look at this. The eclipse coming up. Do you think NASA from the ISS is going to show us the eclipse? Well, I'll tell you why they won't. Because if they're up flying anywhere, they're flying above a flat Earth. And the moon is small. And the sun is small. And to show the little tiny moon come over and get in the way of the sun and not do anything to them proves the issue. So they'll come up with some excuse why they couldn't show you. That's funny. I have not seen that picture before. Completely different looking moon. What is that? Oh boy. These are classic. These are funny. Sorry. Got sidetracked. I'll check the chat again and then I gotta be done soon. Oh boy, look at this. Oh, I mean, look at the panels. Why would the panels be bent? It's just... And that's another thing that's interesting is if they're not up there and they're faking everything, then why would they use GoPro lenses? Wouldn't it be better just to not use those and then we couldn't use that as an excuse? Oh, another thing. I think this view here, and let's say they are 100,000 feet or something, or 300,000 feet, I don't know. But this view here from the cupola window, this window is actually the one that sees the Earth below it. And then these windows are curved. And they make the Earth look like a ball. So just something I've thought about recently. I said, okay, now it makes sense to me that they would... and I'm not saying I know that they're up there. I certainly don't know that. But I don't put it past them to be at a certain... I don't think they get there by rocket. That's for damn sure. Nobody's getting in rockets and going there. But this kind of image kind of shows you that, I think they're flying above a flat disk, if anything. But again, for the most part, what the hell is that? Oh my goodness. Is this supposed to be real? This hurricane looking like that? Get the hell out of here. Get out. These people, I swear. I swear. All right. Let's check the chat. I mean, look at this picture. Wow. This one here, how fake is that? A lot of boats out there in the water. Yeah, to me, I can't look at this anymore and see anything but complete and total joke. Yeah, hit him in the head. There you go. Thank you, Paul Krell. Help us look into... What is this one? What is going on here? What is it supposed to be? What? View of Florida? What? How is that Florida? A view in Gallery A, the view of Florida. Am I tripping out? How can that be Florida? Okay. Whatever. Alright, let me check the chat. What the hell is that? What is that? Man, that is a dumb picture. Alright, sorry. Get caught up in these stupid images. Every one of them looks like a... Look at... Oh, goodness. Yeah, this is real. Look at, there's your star trails. Look at all the star trails. How you would question this, I don't know. I mean, look at this one. Oh man, that's too funny. All right, chat. Sorry, that's too funny. Super chat speaks whatever's typed. Like your audio is fixed up now. It does? Why didn't do the other person's? And I've never heard that before. Let's see. I told @Danny YOLO not to tell me he loves me. All right, Tim. Iffer. You're not gay, are you, Bob? That's nice. Hey, Jaron, spelled Jaron. What's up? Okay, I don't know what that says. FGHVCC Kusidovic. The eclipse is a lie. Well, can't disagree with you. If people have heard me talk enough, they know my opinion of what's going on, but I got to check some stuff out until I make any determinations. Hey, thank you, Michael T. Powell. You're the man. Did he write anything? Is he going to speak anything? Don't hear anything. How does the west to east thing work? Okay, I already explained that. You just have to rewind the video. Peace out, Captain Obvious. He is showing as most recent subscriber. Jaren's nailed it again. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not California. I have to go to Oregon. No, what is? You mean the eclipse? You can see it from California. You can't watch the full eclipse, but you can. You'll see more than half. I mean, the moon, or whatever the black disk is, would cover more than half of the sun. Good work, thank you. Jaren is in Spark one up, buddy. Great job tonight. I think I already read these. Let's go. Sun, I did read that. What's going on here? Okie dokie. Chat's not moving now at all. There it goes. I feel the same, but we can't be debunking stuff unless we know how it works. What are we talking about? I was debunking the speed of the moon around the Earth, which I'm pretty sure I know how it works. Jaren, do you think Buzz has a major greasy erection in his ass right now? Well, I don't want to guess, but probably. The shadow will tell all. Yeah, I know we're gonna have people up with balloons. I think it'll be interesting to see. I know Dwayne Kellum. For me, I still not found anybody who does better balloon launches than Dwayne at all. In fact, I base a lot of my opinion of the Earth on Dwayne Kellum's footage because he launched one here with me. I saw how it all went up. My camera was on it. My camera was on the one that we sent up that didn't do great, didn't take any pictures of stars, but landed in a swamp. But he's doing the best work, and he's getting better each time. If you guys haven't seen his recent stuff, now he's keeping temperature. There's a compass on there, so it tells you what direction. And I think it's just awesome to watch because when you watch that versus when you watch a SpaceX or a NASA launch, you see two completely different things. To me, that proves one is reality and one isn't. With a 70-mile shadow, the moon can't be any larger than 70 miles. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to do some research on the shadow part because I think before I say that, I just want to run it through some tests and see what happens. Let's see here. NASA, all I need is, 1 million a day. You can still have 52. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Perspective of reality. Globehead, no more. The funny thing is, all globeheads out there don't even question their bullshit with it. Yeah, they don't. No, it does them no good to question it. And they may say the same thing about flat earthers, but they don't realize that that's what we're all doing. I mean, if we didn't question anything, then would I have come out with this video tonight? And why would I come out? Why would I say anything? I'll just let people believe that the shadow doesn't work. So for me, I think it's important that we're being so meticulous about different issues because there's enough wrong with the issue that we, and I want to say that too. I take back what I said 2 videos ago. When I said it, I felt weird about saying it, and then I also, for about the last 3 days, just said, that's not me. That I told people, hey, next time put out a challenge video. We don't want to get, do whatever you want. I mean, that's really the truth. Is that, I don't want people saying anything about videos I put out that we're on our own. This is everybody doing whatever they want to do. YouTube is your space, and I would never try and handcuff people by saying, oh no, put out a challenge video because it worked for me. Big deal.
Thank you.